afraid of something. That's just how we're made and programmed to be. Spiders, heights, the feeling you get when you hit your sibling too hard and they start to cry. Whatever it is you're afraid of, it's probably because it could cause harm to you. Spiders killing you, falling from heights, your mom coming into your room with a rice cooker spoon after you got a B on your test. I am afraid of a lot of things, but not conventional things like the dark or public speaking. For instance, I am afraid to drive over bridges. Big bridges, like the Golden Gate Bridge or the Delaware Bridge. Whenever I'm in the car and ascending up it, I am a giant ball of anxiety and nerves. One snap of those supportive cables and the entire thing collapses like a trap door. The worst thing is being stuck in traffic at the top of the bridge, especially on a windy day and you can feel the bridge sway from it. I would greatly prefer to just walk over it. Remember how in Monsters vs. Aliens the giant robot probe just destroyed the Golden Gate Bridge? Yeah, that's what I'm afraid is going to happen. A giant robot from outer space, destroying the bridge in an attempt to get the Quantonium back. Realistic, I know. But my fear and anxiety is so deep-rooted from watching bridges constantly get destroyed in movies that I'm afraid it's going to happen in real life. The only way I counter this and to control my anxiety is to sing Life is a Highway by Rascal Flatts from the movie Cars 2006. I think me singing about the fact that life is a highway and that I can ride it on my own all night long overrides the feeling of imminent death and doom. It's like a lullaby, but with a sick chorus. Another strange thing I'm afraid of is sleeping with bare feet. Don't look at me like that. I already feel the judgmental stare. I don't know why, but my feet having nothing on them makes me feel super vulnerable. Even in the summer when it's over 100 degrees out and I'm practically sleeping in my birthday suit, I have to wear socks. I don't know where this fear came from, but I've had it for a while. My family passes it off as a quirk, but if I'm sleeping without socks, I'm not sleeping. I'm making up scenarios in my head of monsters grabbing my feet and dragging me to the pit of darkness under my bed, which usually leads me to anxiety and me getting up to put a pair of socks on. Not a lot of people in my personal life know that, since I tend to keep it mostly to myself. So I figured, why not let an entire platform with millions of viewers know my deepest fears? Another thing I fear? Squirrels. I hate squirrels. And I know exactly why I have this burning, passionate, hate-filled fear for them. When I was a young lad and naive about the world and its disappointments, I thought squirrels were the type of animals that you could pet and love and bring home to be a part of your family. They are not. They are the equivalent of drinking 5 Red Bulls, 5-hour energies, and cold brews all at the same time. That squirrel in particular did not like humans. Children specifically. So it attacked me. I was very irrational when I was younger. I know, hard to believe. So I started screaming and crying and freaking out in my backyard. My parents came and helped me out, and from there I've avoided squirrels ever since. I understand why dogs like chasing them so much. If I was a dog, depending on how big I'd be, I'd chase them all day. Fears are kind of like having a friend that's always with you. Except they're extremely pessimistic and find the horrors in everything you do. Want to pet a dog? It might bite your arm off. Want to coo and coddle a baby? It might grow up to be the next mass serial killer. Enjoying the beautiful moon on a clear night? It could be pulled into the earth and destroy us. There are 2 ways to combat this type of friend. One would be to be positive and optimistic. Sure, the moon destroying the earth is a possibility, but at least we'll go out staring at the face of our beautiful moon. Yes, there is a good chance that we could all die gruesome deaths from nuclear wars, but no more humans equals no more wars. The other way is what I like to call nihilism, but more aggressive. The moon destroying the earth is a gift that we all deserve. If I go out eating burgers at 3 a.m., then that's how I'm going to go. I don't care if there are laws. If someone calls my dog ugly, I'm throwing hands. Just not caring about life is a good way to combat fear. Just accept your inevitable demise and you're good. Not saying you should do this all the time because it's not healthy, but only in extreme cases and emergencies. Like being locked in the house with your mother-in-law who does not like the way you dress. I have a lot of small, irrational fears. Like asymmetry, rough surfaces which should be smooth, thunder, the crushing psychological feeling of never being good enough, and the constant fear of failure which cripples my everyday mindset. Oh, and sloths. I don't like sloths. Before you come at me in the comments, just look at this thing. It's terrifying! If I saw that thing crawling at me from the bushes at nighttime on an empty road, I'd lose my Or if I was in the car, I'd run it over. Which admittedly seems a little violent and undeserving to these gentle creatures. But still, fear! Now, I'll admit that sometimes I get very irrational in my decision making. Usually it's because of fear or anxiety or pressure or stress. Whichever it might be, I get over it fairly quick because as much as I am a perfectionist, I tend to do better work when I stop caring, which then kicks in the anxiety and fear of failure and not being good enough, which then leads to more problems and usually ends with my mom threatening me to take me to a therapist if I don't calm the down. Fears are present in everyone. No one is truly fearless. Whatever fear that may be to you, whether irrational or not, don't let it get the best of you. Fears and how severe they are range, but it doesn't define you. Keep on pushing. This is Aeryn A, signing off.